You are not bullish enough. Guys, I've been in the One Piece TCG space for the last couple of years, and more importantly, I have been buying and trading cards my entire life. And there's been this one consistent theme that I continuously see online that has just really rubbed me the wrong way, and perhaps it's done the same to you. And it's the idea that this whole concept of trading card games being some kind of viable asset, being some kind of investment, is just a bunch of nonsense. And guys, in today's video, I want to finally quell some of these concerns that some of you out there may have, and perhaps lift the cover and reveal what's really going on here. Because guys, it's not as simple as some of you may think. This is actually a very complicated, psychological, generational phenomena that is occurring right now in front of your very eyes. You're gonna wanna watch this video, especially if you have doubts about the future of the One Piece TCG. But more importantly, guys, you're gonna wanna subscribe to the channel because we go deep into the psychological and financial side of trading cards, especially in the One Piece TCG. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And real quick, guys, a word from today's sponsor. So as you know, getting cards and collectibles from Japan can be a nightmare, especially if you don't live there. We're talking limited access, language barriers, and just having shippers who will not ship internationally. But what if you could shop Japanese marketplaces without all the hassle? Well, thanks to today's sponsor, Rakufun, you can do just that. Rakufun is a Japanese-based proxy shopping platform that gives you one-click access to over 39 major sites like Mercari, Rakuten, ZozoTown, and Animate, so you can find rare cards, exclusive drops, and deals most people can never see. And of course, I had to buy stuff on Rakufun to make sure things were looking smooth, and guys, not only was the service great and the website was easy to navigate, the delivery was insane. I ordered the base shop Funny Face One Piece promo collection, and guys, they came so quick. I literally got these in a week from Japan, which is absolutely insane. It's really easy to navigate. I'll show you how. All you have to do is click the Buy Now button, choose your preferred shipping, confirm your package details, and once that's done, your item gets sent to their warehouse where they do a final check before shipping it out to you. And also through Rakufun's official partnership with Mercari, purchases are made through a verified account, so everything is secure and standardized. Once your item arrives in Japan, you can store them, combine packages to save on shipping, and have everything sent to your door. So if you're looking to get Japanese cards and collectibles, click the link down in the description below, check out Rakufun today, and guys, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a great experience. And if you click the link down below and use my code THEORY, you'll get a 12% discount on orders of over 1,000 yen on all trading card related sites listed on the screen. I'd like to thank Rakufun again for sponsoring today's video. So guys, we've all been on the internet the last 20 or so years, and we've seen how incredibly toxic and negative the internet can really be. So at a time of disinformation, bots, AI, and just general negativity online, you know, we combat a battle every day when we open our phones, when we sit on our computers, and when we, more importantly, stare into our screens. There is obviously a lot of negativity and disinformation online that you need to be skeptical of. I'm guilty for being on my phone for hours, coming across videos, the doom stuff, all that sort of nonsense. We all face that on a day-to-day basis. Now, everyone's algorithms are different, but I bring that up because I just want to firstly clarify that our algorithms do kind of feed us content that may in fact be giving us misinformation. So I wanted to just clearly start the video off by saying that right off the bat. Now, how does that relate to One Piece cards and the future of the One Piece TCG and investing and all that sort of stuff? Well, it's because, guys, you know, I hop on the subreddits for the One Piece Finance subreddit and just One Piece in general, pirate folk, all this sort of stuff. And there's just so much negativity and misguided opinions about what's a good investment, where's One Piece going, like people just complaining time and time again about everything, and they fail to see the genius of Oda's creation right in front of us. Now, of course, you could argue that is something that a One Piece maxi would say, and fair enough. But listen, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's just quickly take a look at the world records, okay? The Guinness Book of World Records. Back in 2022, Oda himself achieved the most copies published for the same comic book series by a single author achievement, selling 416 million units. Now, we're actually above that now. I believe we've surpassed Superman at 600 million copies. But guys, I just want you to think about that for a second. 600 million copies. How incredibly insane is that? That is so many copies of one story. Not multiple, just one. Eiichiro Oda is a top-selling author. He currently ranks the 8th highest selling author in history, okay? He is the king of the highest selling single series of all time, and he continues to blow minds away by every single chapter he releases. Now, I'm not going to spoil things for you because I don't like doing that, but if you've been seeing the recent news for the latest chapter, you already know things are getting crazy. We're getting to the end games now, and there is a lot of very serious and important things to consider that we're going to go over in this video. So, first of all, guys, besides One Piece just being what it is, we need to take a step back and look at why we should even consider talking about TCGs as an investment to begin with. So we grew up in a time where our parents would bring us to Walmart, bring us to stores. We'd beg to buy packs. We'd plead, please get us the Yu-Gi-Oh packs, you know? And sometimes they would give it to us, and we would absolutely fall in love with these cards. I actually got my first pack ever from some local store that we just randomly went into. It was a bookstore, and they were selling Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't have them, unfortunately, but I remember falling in love. I pulled something shiny, and I knew from that point onward it was going to be an incredible life with cardboard. But guys, the point I wanted to make is that those times when we were being introduced to Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, you know, Magic, all these sorts of trading card games, we have now become full-fledged adults with money, with different opinions about what we think are worth buying, and more importantly, us as a generation have begun to change the very idea of what is deemed to be a worthy investment, okay? I want to take you back in time to when we would get commercials like this, commercials for Yu-Gi-Oh, commercials for Pokemon, where people were hyping up these cards, man. And I don't know about you guys, but I remember very clearly back in these days how incredibly excited it was to see these sorts of videos, these commercials. I apologize, the quality's really low here, but I mean, just like, look at this. This was Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. This was literally from 19 years ago, okay? We've got way more examples of this. We've had so many commercials for Pokemon, for the trading card game, guys. So many things were being fed to us. We grew up wanting this stuff. We grew up loving this stuff. And I mean, look at this. All of these kids in these videos are us as adults now. I've got so many examples here, guys. You can just go on YouTube and look up all of these old commercials. So where am I getting at with all this stuff? The point I'm trying to make, guys, is that the old generations before us, like the boomers and stuff, they didn't really care about this stuff. This wasn't their thing. We're now living in a time where the millennials, the Gen Zs, I mean, hell, I could even say the Gen Xers, the ones above the millennials. Perhaps, you know, they were kind of dabbling in cards then. But more importantly, it has now become our time as adults to play this game of money and value. And although we grew up in a time where our parents would tell us, nobody cares about your cardboard, Timmy, that's never going to be worth $10,000 one day. You're not going to have cards that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious looking at all of this cardboard now, you know? When we take a look at our investments, when we take a look at the cards that we have perhaps pulled ourselves or were lucky enough to get for a good price, you know, I'm showing off just some of the grails I got because these are worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And, you know, if I were to show this to my parents, they would just be like, that's ridiculous, right? But to some of you, you would probably pay a heavy price for those kind of cards, which is where I wanted to just make my main point, is that times change, you know? We were grown up being taught so many things from the old world, and now we're seeing that, you know, things can change quickly. You know, the future is going to be a lot different than how we thought it was going to be when we grew up. You know, it's just super fascinating to see how, you know, I'm a millennial. I was born in the early 90s. To see how much has changed, to see how this old world of being taught values and all this sort of stuff has just kind of gone out the window. So many things are changing. I'm trying to get my degree in university, and I'm worried that I'm not going to find a job outside of this whole space online because of AI, you know? Like, so many people are freaking out about this stuff. But, you know, reeling it back a little bit, the whole concept of viewing trading cards as investments is becoming more and more clear every day. I mean, it was only a couple of months ago we saw this whole Logan Paul selling the $16 million Pikachu illustrator card with Ken Golden. You know, Golden is a part of Golden Auctions. You know, he's very, very heavily invested in collectibles, who he himself has stated that collectibles are now becoming a viable asset class for people. I mean, you know, we're really starting to get a shift in the mindset of what it really means to invest in something. Some people want to invest in gold. Some people want to invest in silver. I mean, crypto was a really hard thing for people to get over. I've been involved in crypto since, you know, 2019, 2020. And I mean, yes, a lot of people's opinions about crypto have dramatically changed and stuff, but only now is it being viewed as an actual asset class. And maybe you don't care about that, and that's fine. But it took so many years. So many years. It took, I mean, what are we approaching? Like 15 years of the cryptocurrency industry battling for legitimacy, to be taken seriously as a place to store money, to find value. And I just think as time moves forward, we are finding ourselves yet again in a situation where trading card games and collectibles are now becoming more valuable. How many of us had a ton of Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards in our binders when we were growing up, where we didn't really care about them, and then it turns out if you had a PSA 10 or just a really high quality version of that card, it could be worth thousands and thousands of dollars. What a mistake it was for the older generations who didn't know this was going to happen. Who could have? But what a mistake it was to not safeguard those cards, right? You could have been sitting on tens of thousands of dollars. I myself have friends who have owned cards from their childhood who kept them safe and sold them for tens of thousands of dollars. A buddy of mine sold a couple of his cards for $20,000, just a couple of Pokemon cards, and it got him through college. I mean, how incredible is that? So, you know, all I'm really trying to get at here, guys, is that people's mindsets have to shift. We have to start viewing these new ideas and start taking them seriously and consider what they actually could mean, because so many people who sit down, who go on the internet, who judge others for collecting cards and investing money in this stuff. So many people who judge that stuff often are the ones who are left out. And you don't want to be the one left holding the bag, or should I say, no bag at all. So with that being said, guys, really just consider this message. We're in new times. Our generation is now the one speaking up and deciding what is valuable. One Piece has many great years ahead of itself. Will I say that One Piece will be better than Pokemon forever? No, I mean I won't, because I do think Pokemon has its own ability to continue onward, because it's just, there's so many goddamn Pokemon. They can just keep that same model going and it'll just produce money forever. But what is important about One Piece is just how incredible the story is. We are living through it as it's being created. Ichiro Oda lives and breathes today. We are living through a renaissance of an incredible story. This piece, the One Piece, is just going to be a phenomenal story told for generations and generations to come. And I don't know about you, but I want to be the one who gets to hold a piece of that history. So anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I hope I've inspired you a little bit. But remember, guys, at the end of the day, what you do with your money is your choice. None of this is financial advice. And more importantly, don't get into this space if you don't even care about One Piece. If you're going to get into this space and do this, invest real money, at least get to know the story. I mean, hey, at least you gave it a shot. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, guys, another video should pop on the screen. Be sure to click it, and I will see you over there.